Hello, first graders. This is Mr. Scott again with our art lesson, and this is the art lesson for the week of 9/28. So if you were in school, we would be doing this lesson on October 1st, which is Thursday of this week. You're going to complete this assignment and turn it in by next Tuesday, which is October 6th. I want to remind you that is the last day that we can grade things for this grading period. So if you have not turned in any of the projects from any of our previous videos, you want to make sure that you have completed those and turned them in by Tuesday, October 6th. So you're actually going to have two to turn in if you are caught up. You'll have the last project of our pumpkin collage, and you'll have this project as well. If you are caught up, those will be the only two things you have to turn in by Tuesday, December 6th. If you are not caught up, you may have to finish up some of those other projects and turn those in so I can give you credit for doing those. All right, so let's get started on today's lesson. Last week, we learned, or in the last video rather, we learned about overlapping, and we made something called a collage. And we said that a collage is just when an artist makes a picture by cutting and gluing. And we did some cutting and gluing to make this picture of two pumpkins sitting on a tabletop. And overlapping was the trick that we used to make it look like one pumpkin was in front of another. This little pumpkin is sitting in front of a big pumpkin. So it overlaps, or it hides part of the big one. We also learned that we can make things look like they're in front by moving them down lower on our paper. The things that are highest on our paper are the farthest away. The things that are lowest on our paper are closest to us. So we used overlapping to make it look like we have space, like one thing can be sitting in front of another. Well, today we're going to use that in drawing. So when we draw, we can use overlapping as well. So let's say we're going to draw a picture of two pumpkins, and we want one to look like it's sitting in front. So you should have some 9x12 white paper like that Mrs. Wetzel sent home with you. You're going to need that 9x12 white paper. You're going to need a pencil, and you can use either crayons or markers, because when we have this drawing done, I'm going to ask you to color it for me. So let's start the drawing part first. Now when we draw, we want to draw the thing that is closest to us first. That's different than our collage. If you remember, we did the big pumpkin that's in the back first when we made our collage. But when we're drawing, we have to draw the thing in front first. So on my paper, with my pencil, I'm going to sketch the smaller pumpkin first. Remember, no perfect circles, no perfect ovals. They're not allowed. We're drawing something from nature, so we don't want perfect circles or perfect ovals. So I'm just going to kind of lightly sketch a shape of a pumpkin on here. And I'm going to hold that up for you. Did I make it real dark and heavy in the beginning? No, I didn't push very hard with my pencil at all, because if I want to change it, it'll be easy to erase or change. Unless I push real hard and make the lines real dark, and then it's harder to change. But I kind of like this shape of this pumpkin. It's not a perfect circle, it's not a perfect oval, so I'm good with that. I'm going to darken it up a little bit. And there's my pumpkin shape. I want you to notice it's not touching the bottom of the paper. I don't want yours to touch the bottom of the paper. I want it to be up just a little bit from the bottom. Not too high, because we're going to get that other pumpkin in there, but up just a little bit. This one is the closest to us, so it needs to be a little lower on our paper. I'm going to go ahead and add my stem to this pumpkin. And again, we're not making jack-o'-lanterns. We're not putting faces on these pumpkins. We're just kind of making them regular pumpkins. And I'm going to go ahead and put those curved lines on. You've had a couple practice things now drawing pumpkins, so you're probably getting pretty good at them. I'm going to add those 4 lines to help make it look round. Okay, there he is. Now I'm going to take my black marker, or a black crayon, you could use either one, and I'm going to trace over my pencil lines. Just like always, I'm going to drive carefully and try to stay on the road. We've practiced tracing over lines now a lot, and you guys are getting to be pretty good drivers and doing a pretty good job of staying on the road. And there we go. So now I've drawn the little pumpkin. Different than what we did last week. Last week we started with the big pumpkin. This week we're starting with the little pumpkin. Okay. I'm going to go back to my pencil and I'm going to use overlapping to make it look like there's a pumpkin behind this one. So I'm going to take and I'm going to sketch a bigger pumpkin. Not a perfect oval, not a perfect circle. There we go. I kind of like that shape. Notice the bottom is up higher. This one is closer, so it's lower. The bottom of this one's going to be up a little bit higher. I kind of like that shape. I think I'll go ahead and darken it. And look, I don't even have to draw this corner of the pumpkin because it's hidden behind the little pumpkin. It's overlapped. I can leave that whole corner off. I get to be lazy. I only have to draw part of a pumpkin. I only do this part right here. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and add the stem to it. And I'm going to add those curved lines. Got to be careful though, because when I bump into that pumpkin, I have to stop. They get tucked behind there. That's the other one. There's the other one. And here's the last one. Okay. So I did the same thing that we did with our collage. When we were cutting and gluing papers, we overlapped. Well, now I'm just overlapping with a pencil, just drawing it instead of cutting it out. The little pumpkin is in front. The bottom is lower. The big pumpkin is in the back. Okay. And it's overlapped. It's hiding the corner. I'm going to take my black marker, or you could use your black crayon, and I'm going to trace over that. And here's my two pumpkins. A little one sitting in front of a big one. No faces. They're not jack-o'-lanterns. They're just regular pumpkins. There's something missing from my drawing. Go back and look at our collage that we made. Remember that blue tabletop? These don't have a table. They're just kind of floating in the air. So we need to get a tabletop on there so they're not floating in the air. All we have to do is draw something called a baseline. Remember that right there where the blue and the yellow meets? It makes a line. That's called the baseline. So to do that on my drawing, all I have to do is make it higher than the bottom of the big pumpkin. So I'm going to start at one side. When I come over, I bump into the pumpkin. Okay. I'm going to pretend I'm drawing, but I'm not really going to draw. And I'm going to come out the other side. And that one line makes it look like they're sitting on a table. So that's how we're going to use overlapping to get in a drawing, to get one thing to look like it's in front. We're going to draw the thing closest to us first, the one in front first. We're going to put it low on our paper. When we go to draw the bigger pumpkin behind it, we're going to make sure the bottom is up a little higher and that part of it is hidden behind the little pumpkin. Then we're going to put that baseline in, higher than the bottom of the big pumpkin, comes across, stops, out the other side. When you've got the whole drawing done, I want you to finish this drawing by coloring it. And when I go to the art museum, we've talked about this before, when I go to the art museum and I look at the famous pictures, I don't see big pieces of white paper anywhere. So when you are done with this, I don't want to see any white paper showing. Maybe you're going to color these pumpkins oranges or red oranges or yellow oranges and the stems green or brown. But then I also want you to color this space. On our collage, it was yellow. You could make it yellow on here if you want, or you could pick a new color. I also want you to color the bottom, On here, it was blue. You could make it blue on here, or you could pick whatever color you would like. But when you turn this in next Tuesday, October 6th, I want the whole page to be filled with color. Also double check. Make sure that you have your name on the back. I think I forgot to show you that in the beginning, but we always want to double check and make sure your name is on the back and it is written so I can turn your paper over and see it easily. So we have done a drawing of two pumpkins, one sitting in front of the other, and we have used overlapping in our drawing. I hope you have fun drawing and coloring these pumpkins, and I look forward to seeing your work. So bring it back to school and turn it in by next Tuesday, October 6th. Reminding you one more time, if you have videos that you've not finished watching or you've not completed the projects, you need to watch those videos and complete all of the projects by next Tuesday, October 6th, in order for me to give you credit on your report card. Have fun drawing. I look forward to seeing your work. Bye.